It's time now for the Peter Channel 11 a.m. news report on this Wednesday Wednesday afternoon, April 6, 2016. Good morning and afternoon, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins here. 11 a.m. news and on top story at 11 a.m. is Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders each won their Wisconsin primary by 13 points, more than 2 months after voting began in Iowa. Front-runners Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton crashed through a shutter wall. It must have been a seemingly straightforward wait on a Supreme Court justice who was famous for, among other things, pride and straightforwardness, as Clifford Etchon's gallant school laws streaked over unfortunate acronym. U.S. drug maker Pfizer Incorporated and an Ireland-based Allergen PLC walked away from a $160 billion merger on Wednesday, a major win for President Obama, who has been pushing to curb deals in which companies move overseas to cut taxes. A controversial North Carolina law, which has been criticized for rolling back rights for the gay and transgender community, has been drawn to focus at NBA, but the NFL is exerted the same kind of pressure yet. Brussels, the European Union's executive on Wednesday proposed to straightening the bloc's common asylum rules in response to the chaotic arrival of more than 1 million migrants and refugees last year, and then has strained the EU coercion. Reykjavik, Iceland's government sought to avoid early elections on Wednesday by picking a replacement for the prime minister who has stepped down. A North Korean soldier stands before spectators during a mass military parade at Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang on October 10th as North Korea was marking the 70th anniversary of the Chameleon Workers' Party. Amsterdam, Dutch voters cast ballots in the referendum on Wednesday on the European Union's treaty with Ukraine, providing the gauge of anti-EU sentiment weeks before Britain put its membership of the bloc on the line. London, more people were put to death in countries around the world last year than any other year during the past quarter century, Amnesty International said on Tuesday. Abuja, Nigeria, at least 2,000 hostages were freed and more than 300 Islamic militants killed as government troops closing on Boko Haram in Nigeria. Brussels, European Union officials on Wednesday proposed changes to the bloc's asylum rules to better handle an influx of migrants allowed since World War II. Seoul, North Korea said it wants to improve relations with itself despite tensions and recent threats to destroy parts of the South. The National Weather Service left in the face of the snowstorm and below average temperatures that have hit Boston a few days of April. Attorneys for high-ranking Parliament leader Lowell Jeffs will try to persuade a judge Wednesday to let him out of jail pending trial and accusation in Yelp orchestrated a $3 million food stamp fraud scheme. The Texas vampire killer was found guilty of the 1998 murder of the 12-year-old boy is set to be executed on Wednesday, April 6th, and the recently filed appeal is denied. Donald Trump, Lemon, Florida Governor Rick Scott received a Scotland order at Starbucks in Gainesville Tuesday, and it definitely wasn't a coffee. And all the analysts and around the Model 3 unveiled the missed liquidity targets for Q1. Investors are missing a huge factor that the huge factor is Elon Musk. San Francisco's become the first city to pass a law guaranteeing new parents time off that's fully paid to care for a new child. If Albertan Company's bid by Baker Hughes Incorporated fails, it may spark a scramble for deals among beaten down oil service firms. Despite some occasionally hawkish rhetoric from a handful of disaffected Federal Reserve Bank presidents expect the Fed to remain on hold until inflationary threats clearly emerge. Washington, the U.S. Department of Labor on Wednesday released new rules that would set limits on the advice that brokers can offer to people who are saving for retirement. New York, factors ranging from a drop in U.S. crude oil inventories and an increase in China's sector helped give crude oil prices a recent rally on Wednesday. Moscow, Russia's economy will continue facing pressure from low crude oil prices and sanctions by crude returns by next year, the World Bank said on Wednesday. Washington, a rethinking current energy priorities and policy may be necessary to give further improvement to the U.S. shale oil and the gas sector industry group said. San Ramon, California, mechanical leadership, one of the facility's cooling gas to liquid form in a Gorgon project in Austria forced to shut down an operation, Chevron said. Look at that stock buy report. Now up 12.26 points at 17.6, 15.58. SP 500 up 9.72 points at 2,054.94. And NASDAQ up 33.26 points at 4,877.19. Compared with the hustle and bustle of Europe, interplanetary space seems pretty empty, but it's actually awash in particles ejected by the sun. A photo sent by Opportunity Fridays. The World Health Organization will celebrate its birthday on April 7th, World Health Day, but it's year not with a cake. The traditional birthday cake will be replaced by healthy options like fruit and a call to action to tackle diabetes. People are more likely to develop an irregular heartbeat following the death of their spouse or life partner, particularly that are young and a loved one, that unexpectedly a new study suggests. The demonstration is announced on Wednesday to transfer money from the fight against Ebola to combat the growing threat that the Zika virus, congressional officials said. After being diagnosed with a battle of her life, Janice Dickinson was granted for the first time in 3 decades. A 61-year-old former America's Next top model and a longtime supermodel just revealed in late March she'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. Peter Children's time, 11:06 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. It's time now for a sports report. Today, the Boston Red Sox will have a game against Cleveland Indians, game time 6:10 p.m. While the Celtics have a game at the Garden against the Dawn Pelicans, game time 7:30 p.m. on Boston. Who to call with a UConn women's basketball team at during another national championship, which it did. And California. Chicago Cubs Lieutenant John Lester is a man who takes a lot of pride in everything he does. After signing most lucrative contract in Cubs history in December 2014, Lester did not mention the series of shows 11-12 record. Peter Children's time, 11:07 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, and it is time now for a weather report on this Wednesday morning going into Wednesday afternoon. Let's study up in Rhode where Route 95 and the southbound side connected around Route 10 and Cranston, so expect some delays. But you're looking good in the oceans except for 130 on the eastbound side. Also for James side, the Newport Bridge on the eastbound side. 130 on the westbound side, so off out the Newport Bridge. But James side, the Mountain Home Bridges are looking good. Southeastern Massachusetts highways are looking good. Route 6 moving from 7 on the lanes. Southeast express on the northbound side, so from 3A all the way out to the Mass Pike in Boston. Mass Pike on the eastbound side, so we also brought tolls all the way to the Southeast Expressway. Route 9. Mass Pike on the eastbound side, connected after Route 9 in Framingham, so expect them delays. And Mass Pike on the eastbound side, a little slow before I-91 in Chicopee and 91 in southbound side, a little slow for Northampton. Up in New Hampshire. Everett Turnpike on the southbound side, a little slow around the Merrimack stretch. 293 on the westbound side, a little slow on the Everett Turnpike in Manchester, New Hampshire. But highways of Vermont and New Hampshire may not looking good. Down in Connecticut, I-91 on the southbound side, a little slow around the Parkway in Hartford. I-84 on the eastbound side, a little slow on the Middlebury stretch. 95 on the southbound side, so from 91 to Raven all the way up to West Haven. And then there's again before Route 8 in Bridgeport. Merritt Turnpike, a little stop and go between Route 8 and 25. Bridgeport doing the next and then on 15 on the southbound side after Route 25. And then stop and go around the Westport stretch. 95 on the southbound side, a little slow on the Norwalk stretch. 395 on the southbound side, a little slow after Route 6 in Killenly, Connecticut. Down in New York City. Lincoln Tunnel is slow on both ends. George Washington Bridge on the northbound side is slow to a couple of accidents. West Side Parkway exit around Route 95, so expect some delays. 95 on the northbound side is slow. At the Bronx, 95 southbound side, so to the Bronx. 278 on the westbound side, it did so from Long Expressway all the way at the Brooklyn Bridge. Belt Parkway and both ends slow from Cheapside Bay all the way out to the JFK Airport. Brooklyn Queens Expressway eastbound side, so from Verrazano Harris Bridge all the way at the Long Expressway. Long Expressway to the westbound side, it did so from Fuller Park all the way out to the Queens. FDR Drive on the southbound side, so from Hartman up to your east side. 478 on both ends, and it's off on the New York stretch. Out in New Jersey Turnpike's looking good from New York all the way out to Delaware. Garden State Parkway's looking good from Newark to Cape May. On 76 on the westbound side, an accident in King of Prussia, so expect a few delays. But otherwise, the Turnpike's looking good from Philly to Pittsburgh. I-80 on the westbound side, the little swine, 380 just south of Scranton, but I-80 is looking from New York all the way out to Cleveland. New York State 3 is moving from New York to the Pennsylvania border. As all the highways and byways around New York City, I-80 eastbound side. The Wolves around the Taconic State Parkway in eastern New York, just around east of Beacon. Okay, let's take a look at MBTA alerts at 11:10. The ferries, they are looking good. Still on S4 Express with minor delays to the traffic. Still on S4 Express with minor delays to the disabled bus. And on the commuter rail, Worcester train 518 1040 a.m. inbound is departed. Worcester is operating 20-25 minutes beyond schedule due to track work. Peter Children's time, 11:10 on this. Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon, time out for a weather report. By today, increased skies have about 41 degrees. Light southwest wind experiment 5 southbound and 5 to 10 miles in the afternoon. Winds good gust size 20 miles an hour. Tonight, slight chance of rain and snow showers between 11 p.m. and midnight. Then a chance of rain and showers. Cloud skies about 35 degrees south, about 9 miles away with gust size 25 miles an hour. Chance of 30%. Little no skirmish expected. Thursday, rain may before after 8 a.m. Pitchback out here 58 degrees south, about 11 miles gust size 43 miles an hour. Chance of 1%. New Pacific 3 and 3/4 of wind is possible. Thursday, rain possibly a thunderstorm before 11 p.m. Then a chance of rain, pitchback before between 8 and 9 p.m. Low around 30 degrees south, about 8 to 11 miles gust size 31 miles an hour. Chance of 8%. New Pacific between 7 3/4 inch possible. Friday, slight chance of rain before 8 a.m. Then a chance of showers, rain between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Part size about 51 degrees southwest, about 9 to 60 miles gust size 28 miles an hour. Chance of 30%. Friday night, most gusts about 35 degrees. Saturday, chance of rain after 11 a.m. Part size got about 48 degrees. Chance of 40%. Saturday night, a chance of rain before 10 p.m. Then a chance of snow between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. Most gusts got about 28 degrees. Chance of 50%. Sunday, most of the podcast about 42 about 28 degrees. Monday, part size got about 49 degrees. Monday night, chance of showers, most gusts got about 40 degrees. Chance of 30%. And for Tuesday, chance of showers, most gusts got about 63 degrees and chance of 40%. Trillion, Naughton, 38 degrees at first guys. Humidity, 23%, 3 above Celsius. And that's going to be it for the Picture Channel. 11 a.m. news report on this April 6, 2069 on Wednesday. Tuesday, have a good afternoon with good positive. Have a good day.